This is Mike Regan with Transact's 2-Minute Warning for the week of August 15th. And in this week's 2-Minute Warning, we're taking a look at what's really going on in the trucking industry and also touching on some of the fallout from AB5. Last week was an interesting week for me because I had the opportunity to take part in a couple of different events that I found really interesting. The first one was a small session that I hosted for some supply chain folks about what's really going on with AB5. Jude Bears, who's the CFO from Universal Logistics, hit it out of the park with a dynamite presentation, had 4 things that shippers need to be doing today in light of AB5. What you need to know is drayage rates are likely to go up by at least 25% to 35 or 40% or even higher, and that's because of all the uncertainty that's been created by AB5. Now, the other thing that I found really interesting was a webcast that was hosted by our friends from the Journal of Commerce. Bill Cassidy, who's a senior editor there, did a great job of bringing together some people like me and Jason Miller to talk about what's really going on in the trucking industry. Jason Miller is at Michigan State University. He's a professor there and the incoming chair of their very distinguished supply chain program. He was armed with statistics. The key point that I got out of that presentation was, on the question of are we in a freight recession, according to Jason, the data says we are not in a freight recession. And while the volumes that we're seeing today are less than what we saw last year was a record year. The volumes today are considerably higher than they were in 2019. And what Jason suggested is what we're seeing is a realignment of capacity as things shake out in the supply chain world. Now, Bill asked me to speak about the realities that shippers are having to deal with today, and there were a couple realities that I touched on that apparently got people's attention. Reality number one is that it costs truckers a lot more to operate trucks today than it did a year ago. Higher driver wages, increased costs for equipment, higher insurance premiums, and a whole host of other things make it much more costly for these carriers to put their assets on the road. The second thing is that the carriers have great data. They know exactly how their trucks are being used, the amount of time spent servicing your account, as well as how you consume space on their trailers, and they're using that data in their pricing decisions. The other reality is if you don't understand the higher cost and the better data model, your negotiating strategies are going to be flawed. There are things that you must do today if you're going to conduct a sourcing event. We've talked about this at Transact.com with people like Chris Kaplis. You can get the link to that interview or others. But if you want more information about how you can conduct the best possible sourcing event, give me a call or send me an email. Now, one final point. With respect to going forward, what came out of this is you need a plan that addresses the possible contingencies. There are other things that you need to be concerned about. Once again, we'd love to share that information with you, and if you'll give me a call, we'll get it out to you. Because with each and every 2-minute warning, we're here to remind you we are on your team, we're here to help, and we're passionate about seeing you be successful. Thanks for your time.